All right. Welcome again to the FT7 Sunday Zoom call. In the Zoom calls, we will go over the trades we took last week. We will make the preparations for the coming week, and we will try to find the most important key levels in combination with some news and fundamentals in order to look for the week ahead. So, very well. Welcome again, and we will kick off for the next 45 minutes in order to go through some quite important and clear charts. Let's start over with the first looking back at the last week. Last week we had a tremendous couple of trades with the free channel, and we also had some great trades with the FIP channel as well. So let me go to the free channel to check which trade I've shared. Yeah, let's see. We started with this great trade on Thursday. Yeah, this one, it was Euro USD. I sent that signal to the free channel and to the FIP channel. This was, let me check, which day was this? This was on Thursday. Yeah, so let's go to Euro USD, and then I'll explain why I took that trade to keep things very simple. 5 May, Thursday was 5 May. Yeah, so it was here. Well, pretty clear. If you look at the overall market structure, right? We see lower lows, lower highs. So we are definitely in a bear trend. Yeah, that's pretty clear. 4 hour, same story. 1 hour. If we go to 1 hour, what do we see? We go to 1 hour. We see here that last week by the end, the week before, last week, it made a shift, right? It made a shift towards this zone here, right? Boom. So this was a pretty clear 1 hour zone. And you also see that the volume increases here, right? So where you see a support level or a resistance level where the volume increases, you need to look, okay, if price comes into that level, do we see any exhaustion, rejections, etc., right? So if you look at this level, price came in this level, boom, then we got like a very huge wick. This wick means we are rejecting the buyers, and then we got an entry, which was, if you go to the line chart, because the line chart is a real price, you see that the structures are being broken, right? So you're looking for more confluences. Well, my first confluence was my zone. Yeah, my zone, high volume zone, first confluence. My second confluence was, hey, I'm getting a lot of rejections in this level. I'm getting a lot of wicks in this level, right? The third confirmation was, hey, I'm getting a close above that resistance level, but it didn't follow through, which means that, okay, if it didn't follow through and it closes back below this level, we are bearish instead of bullish. Yeah? And that is quite important, because if you're seeing like, hey, the market don't have enough buyers in order to push through, then the only way it can go is the other way, right? Okay. And then what I then did, I took it off the 50 minutes, because one, I confirmed the direction, right? The direction was, hey, I'm not going up, I'm going down. My structures are being broken, right? So I'm making new market structures. I'm making minor market structures on the 50-minute, which can potentially lead to a major structure. Yeah. So minor structures going into major structures. Just to explain that very shortly, this is like a major structure, right? In between this major structure, there are a lot of minor structures. Yeah. So that's in order to clarify that. You need to know that, because if you don't know the difference between minor and major structure, then you can get into trouble, right? Okay, like for example, again, just to show you, this is major structure, and in between we had minor structures of 50 million. Yeah, price needs minors and major structures in order to move. Yeah. It's a basic thing, but very important to know. If you don't understand that, it can be quite difficult in order to understand the direction of price. Right? Okay. Well, yeah, so pretty easy. If I go back to Telegram, yeah, I show this. So I saw that the momentum was going down. What is important is as well, like I use this daily open indicator. The daily open indicator, you can just find it on TradingView. It's free. It's from this guy here, TVDS. Why do I use that? The reason why I use that is because the institutions, the banks, and the investment companies, the BlackRocks, etc., they they um, they they trade with the daily open. A lot of time you find this move first, you find a fake out above the daily open, and then you get a close below the daily open. The daily open is this red line here, right? And then when it trades below the daily open, yeah, most of the times it will keep trading below the daily open, causing the trend of the day, right? And then here you see there's another daily open. You see you have a close here, and then it trades for the rest of the day. So it doesn't work always, but it does work like 7 out of 10 times. Like for example, if I go a 1 hour here, all these lines are daily open. So you see here, closes below, it keeps trading below the daily open. Here, it makes a correction, it closes below, keeps trading with the daily open. Here, it gives a fake out, closes below, keeps trading with the daily open. Again here, it gives a fake out, goes below, keeps trading with the daily open. So you see how often it happens, right? Like trades below daily open, it keeps below the daily open. Trades above the daily open, it keeps above the daily open. So it's just an institutional hack for you to know, like, okay, I need to be aware if I'm trading with or against the daily open. Of course, sometimes you will see that you can be in a range area where you need to check, okay, is price currently in a range? Then you need to see, okay, is it trending or not? If it's trending, you can trade with the daily opens, right? And then of course, if you come into a high time frame a zone in a daily or a weekly zone, you need to be careful for the counter bounces, because those levels are quite strong. Okay, next trade that we took last week with the free channel. Let's trade to the free channel. This was a just stayed with a free channel. Yeah, GPUSD. Yeah, GPUSD was a quite easy one actually. Let me look on my lines. I was playing around a bit. Yeah, GPUSD was an easy one. The reason why it was an easy one is because price came into a major structure point. See this major structure point? Why is this a major structure point? Always ask yourself why. Because this structure point made this move going down. That's why I call this a major structure point. This structure point caused this lower low, right? If you look at other major structure points, this structure point caused a lower low. So for me, it's a major structure point. This structure point caused a lower low. So for me, it's a major structure point, right? So differentiate major with minor structure point. So I waited for price to come into this major structure point before I took USD, GBP, USD sell. And yeah, that's pretty clear, right? We we got a very clear fake out with this candle here. This candle is a classic fake out. Boom, fake out outside the range, right? Keep eye on your ranges, keep eye on your liquidity wicks. Close, boom, close inside. We enter the trade and then boom, it blasted down for almost 57 pips, 60 pips. And it was a great trade. We took with the fifth channel and we took with the free channel. It was an insane trade. And then we also took a trade with the fifth channel. That was during London. That was yeah, it was an easy trade with the fifth channel. We had a, if you look at here, we had a main structure point. I was just waiting for price to come above this structure point and then to close back below to see if we would get a trade or not. What happened was this was Asian session, London session, volume increased, boom, close here. We entered here with a 20 pip stop loss ish, and then boom, it went for 82 pips in one candle. So that was an insane, immense trade. Okay. Yeah, so if there are questions, just ask, feel free to ask. If not, I will go for the preparation for next week. So let's proceed to the preparations for next week. These sessions will be recorded and they will be on the YouTube channel as well. If you would like to look back, please go ahead and go to my channel and subscribe. So let's do some preparations for next week, yeah, because that's quite crucial and important. So before I start my preparation, I always do a top-down analysis, right? So you see here prices in the monthly level, right? Monthly level. I always do this on a line chart because the line chart is real price, right? If you go on candles, you see these wicks. This is not real price. These are the liquidity wicks where price can go through. I do draw my lines on the liquidity wicks, but I do that more on a weekly or a daily or 4-hour and 1-hour level. But yeah, overall, we see that we are definitely in a bearish market. You can draw your basic lines, right? Basic trend lines, you can draw them. If you have difficulty with direction, there's no problem, but be aware that you're currently in a monthly level. So if you're in a monthly level, you will get a lot of consolidation. If you get this consolidation for a long period of time, that means that a new cycle is in the making. If you don't have a consolidation, you will see that the bear market will extend further, right? But if you currently check this level, this is definitely a consolidation level, right? It's currently doing a consolidation, up, down, up, down, up, down. So what are you waiting for? We are waiting for, you see here that price made a higher high, made a lower high here. So the question is, will price break below this lower high to continue this price tumble, or will this guy make a new higher high in order to continue the bounce of the monthly structure point? Well, if you look at this pattern, this is an imbalance, so there's a greater chance that it will go up than that it will go down, in my opinion. And then your first point of structure would be this level, because this level has a lot of volume, because this level made this lower low. So it is a major structure point. And if it doesn't reject from that point, you need to keep this point in mind because it's a major structure point as well, right? So my projection is there's always two options, right? You always need to check how the market opens. If you're trading with a daily open or not. If price closes above the daily open, look for longs. If not, look for shorts. Yeah. Okay. GJ. GJ. Let's go to GJ. Let's do a top-down analysis for GJ as well. Okay. GJ. What is GJ doing currently? Well, GJ is definitely bouncing off a monthly level, right? So it's bouncing off a monthly level. You see here a clear daily head and shoulders here. Left shoulders, head, right shoulders. So GJ can definitely make this move going further down. And one of the reasons why as well is because the Central Bank of England raised the rates last week after the Fed, the Central Bank of USA, raised the rates. So in general, you will see that when the Central Bank of USA does a rate increase, the other countries and continents also follows. So the other big pairs like Euro and GBP and and USD CAD and etc. and Swiss francs, they will also follow with the increases of rates. So that will bring the market back into balance, right, in terms of exchange rates. Because if they don't do that, you will have a very, very expensive dollar. So the other countries, they need to follow suit. Yeah, so that's very crucial information. So what do I see? I always mark down my major structure points, because that's where the money is. Major structure points, major structure points. That's where we need to be. Okay. Not saying that this is not a major structure point, because this is a major structure point, because this point made a very aggressive lower low. So I will draw my line on that as well. Right. All right. Boom. All right. So this is what I see. And if not, this is a very crucial point, what we can see further, but I don't think that price will make it that far, to be really honest. I don't think it will go up 200 pips before it go down, because it just made like a 4-hour head and shoulders, daily head and shoulders, in order to proceed this this current downtrend momentum. So of course it can be possible, and if this possible, this would be a very great entry to take a trade from. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Let's see. Okay, we see some great wicks here. Let's check on 30 minutes. Yeah, that yeah. Okay, my first key point, key level would be this level, and then I will see how price rejects from that level to see if we see a takeover from the sellers taking over the buyers, right? Yeah, so Euro USD. Let's check Euro USD. Yeah, what do we see on Euro USD? Euro USD. We always start with monthly. Look at this. Euro USD is in a insane level, in a monthly level. So keep an eye on a bullish turn. Also moved away from the trend line, moved away very sharply. So let me check this out. Closed above structure. Okay. Euro USD. Euro USD. Keep an eye on this bullishness, because it might well be the case that Euro USD will be bullish for the whole week. Yeah. So keep that in mind. We will need to check how price opens, but if you look at the latest price action, made a higher high, currently making a correction, right? So So I definitely think that Euro USD will be bullish for the rest of the week. So I definitely expect this because now the Fed increased interest rates. So now is a turn for the other countries, the Euros and the European Union and you know and the other currencies to raise their rates. So and that's what a couple of them did already last week. So it will be like a battle of currencies in order to fight inflation. Yeah. So I'm projecting Euro USD longs for next week. That's my outlook. All right. Yeah. So if I'm projecting Euro USD long, the inverted pair for the dollar, yeah, because if you look at DXY, the DXY is the dollar index, which shows the strength of the dollar. If you look at a DXY, you also see that DXY is in a weekly range. Weekly range. So if we get a DXY close below this level, right, we will see this happening, and then we will see another tumble. When that happens, USD cut and DXY, they run simultaneously. As you can see, we are in weekly levels, they run simultaneously. So if DXY does that, USD cut will do that as well. So keep an eye on that. We can have a little bit of consolidation because these are like weekly and monthly levels. So you can have a consolidation, yeah, a consolidation first before this happens, right? So don't expect that when you have a trade that this will happen like immediately. It can happen. Trading is always how do you say, you don't always get what you want. Understand? You get what the market gives to you. Understand? So if you think that you need to get something from the market, then you're already a loser, right? The only thing that you can do is protect your risk because that's the only criteria you're able to control. If you don't do that, then you're getting bust, right? So this is my projection for USD cut. I do think that it will make a fake out first, right, before we go down. So keep an eye on that. Okay. US 30. Yeah, US 30 is getting a beat down, of course, due to inflation and the fear of the negative impacts, of course, on the dollar economy. However, if you currently look at US 30, it's very bearish, very bearish. It's in a very key level, foundation level at this moment. So we will definitely, yeah, we can definitely see like a correction because it has been doubling a lot. So I see this correction, and from this level, it will drop very hard, very, very, very hard again, going for a negative week again. So this is my projection because I don't think the market will correct in such a quick time frame. Of course, you will have these corrections as you see here, but eventually we are definitely still in a downtrend. Yeah. For a while, and from here and onwards. GBP Australian dollars. Let's see which price information, price action have we have on these charts. Okay, this is a crazy level. This is a weekly level on GBP Australian dollar. Oof, this is also a crazy bearish confirmation. This is very bearish. Yeah, I would only focus on sales. You see here, yes, we have a consolidation on this weekly level, but the first move on the weekly level already happened here. So it's continuing the downtrend. It's continuing the downtrend. So let's see on 4 hour what we have, and on 1 hour what we have. Yes, we see here an imbalance. Yeah, left shoulder, boom, peak down imbalance. Okay, so we have a main structure point. Then we have minor structure points. Let's see what we get. Let's see if we draw levels. Yeah, this is currently aggressively on a, oh, sorry. Yeah, on a 1 hour it's aggressively bullish. On a higher time frame it's aggressively bearish. So it depends how the market opens. We don't know. Because a lot of people, they forecast something, a direction, but you only know when the market opens. You only know for the day and for the week in which direction we are trading. Like if you look back last week, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading days, right? So this was the beginning of the week. Beginning of the week, boom, Monday closes below the daily open, the weekly open, and then for the week it's totally bearish. Yeah, for the week is totally bearish, and then only on the last day started to consolidating. So a lot of times you will see, okay, if the weekly opens bearish, you can expect that you can sell for the whole week, and also looking for sells in that direction. Here we have the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here you have like a correction, and then the 3 days of the week it was bearish, right? So it's a pattern that you often see. So just keep an eye on that. Yeah, let's do gold. A lot of people love gold. I'm fine with gold. I can trade gold, but I keep it with Forex pairs because I want to have the easy money. And gold, you need to be there on your screen like always, because you need to check if you have like a false entry on 5 minutes. Because if you take it on high time frame, you need to have like a very large stop loss to not be taken out. Okay, what are my major structures? These are my major structure levels. What is gold doing at this moment? Well, it's picking up. The momentum is still on the upside. Let me go monthly. Okay. Interesting. This is interesting. So it closed back below the weekly baseline. This changes things. This changes things. Okay. This definitely changes things. Okay. I'm bearish on gold, not bullish, because the higher time frame shows a lot of bullish signs on even 3 time frames, weekly, monthly, daily, and then 4 hour as well. So I'll definitely stay bearish on gold. We can see these 2 penetrations between these levels, and from then onwards you see this, and then it definitely will tumble. Yeah. So keep an eye on that. Overall, the sellers are in control, right? So keep an eye on that. Always very important. You need to choose direction first. If you just trade and you don't have any sense of direction, it doesn't even make sense to trade, right? Because you need to have sense of direction. And how do you get sense of direction? You get sense of direction if you're taking your time to check, okay, where are we in monthly, weekly, daily, For our cycle, okay, high time frame cycle tells me this. What is 1 hour telling me? Okay, 1 hour is telling me that we're going temporarily up, even though the higher time frame is down. So looking for sells is a higher probability. And then you see, okay, what is my daily open saying, right? So if my daily open saying we are still buying until this level, it will stay above the daily open until it reaches this level, from which you can take a trade off, right? So that's very important and very crucial in my opinion. Following that order in terms of following a direction, right? So for me, a lot of things are great to know, and candles, etc. Direction and the risk management. Keep it very stable. If you do that, then you are able to grow. If you don't, then it can be a disaster. Okay, all right. This was the recap for the week ahead for May 9th till May 13th. I hope you enjoyed the session. And this is a session that I will do every Sunday with the free channel and the fifth channel with the whole community. The community is picking up again, so I expect more people to join in the coming weeks, of course. Yeah, for the rest, we also have, of course, the community and the FIP community. If you want to join that, you're able to check on my site, forextechnician7.com. There's also like a offer for a course on a one-on-one guidance if you're struggling with trading, etc. And of course, you're always able to ask questions on this free session every Sunday, where we are looking ahead for the new week. Yeah. Yeah, any questions? If you have any questions, you're of course free to raise them. And otherwise, this will be the end of the session. Okay, great. No questions. Then I would like to thank you, and we see each other again in the next week. A great trading week ahead. FT7 out.